One night, an American Navy ship was going through the waters off the coast of Newfoundland in Canada, when suddenly the captain noticed a light immediately ahead and realized there must be another ship heading straight towards them. He quickly wired to the other ship, "Please change your course by 15 degrees north to avoid collision." Immediately a reply came back saying, "Recommend you change your course 15 degrees south to avoid collision." This infuriated the captain. Immediately he wired again saying, "I am the captain of a U.S. Navy ship. I say to you again, change your course." The reply came back, "No, you change your course." Then the captain wrote off another wire saying, "This is the aircraft carrier USS Lincoln, the second largest ship in the United States Atlantic Fleet. We are accompanied by 3 destroyers, 3 cruisers, and numerous support vessels. I demand that you divert your course 15 degrees north. That is 15 degrees north, or countermeasures will be undertaken to ensure the safety of this ship." The reply came back, "This is a lighthouse. Your call." It has been hotly debated whether or not this story is true. The Navy vehemently disclaims it. I suspect it's merely another piece of urban legend, but the point is well taken. How often in life do we find ourselves not willing to change? We want everybody else to change because we think we are on the right course, and it's everybody else who needs to change. Change can be painful. When after 20 years in my first parish I had to leave there, it was very difficult to make that change. I dare say when I have to leave this church, it will be just as difficult. But sometimes we have to alter our direction. We have to change in order to find and experience something new. Henry Ford used to say, "If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got." He would know. If we want to get what we've never got, we have to do what we've never done. The friends of Jesus had been fishing all night, but had not caught a thing. In the entirety of sacred scripture, we don't find a single instance of those apostles catching even one fish without the help of Jesus. I don't know what kind of fishermen those guys were. Suddenly, they heard a voice from the shore, a voice they did not recognize, coming from a person they did not recognize. The voice called out to them, "Go to the other side of the boat. Cast your nets over the right side." The amazing thing is, they did. They didn't know where this voice was coming from. They didn't recognize the person on shore. Yet they followed the instructions of this voice and were willing to change, willing to divert their course, willing to move to the other side of the boat. Unbelievably, their nets were suddenly filled with fish because they were casting their nets now on the right side after fishing all along on the wrong side. Certain types of religious people find change particularly difficult. Years ago, there was a powerful churchman in Rome by the name of Cardinal Ottaviani. He was known as the ultra-conservative of ultra-conservatives, never wanting to budge on anything. The motto on his coat of arms was Semper Idem, always the same. At the Second Vatican Council, it was he who opposed every change, every step of the way. Always the same. I will never change. What a sad way to live, never being willing to grow. How different the call of Pope Francis, who admonished against the ever-present temptation to rigidity when change and reform are in the very nature of a church called to be missionary. We as Christians are called to go to the other side of the boat. We are called to divert our course. We are called to change. Harry Emerson Fosdick was one of the greatest of the 20th century American Protestant preachers. He once wrote, "Christians are supposed not merely to endure change or even to profit by it, but to cause it." We are called to change ourselves so that we can change and transform the world. Yet how often do we, in our own lives and as church, refuse to accept the challenge of that voice calling us to change, calling us perhaps to the opposite side of the boat? It was the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, Harold Wilson, who said, "He who rejects change is the architect of decay. The only human institution which rejects progress is the cemetery." Do we wish our lives to be buried in a cemetery? Do we wish our church to become a graveyard, or a museum to what once was, or a monument perhaps to what could have been? So often in our life, we become discouraged. We try and we try, but we no longer catch any fish. We look and we look, but we no longer find. We live and we live, but we no longer grow. Have the courage to listen to that strange voice calling to radical change, calling us to move to the other side of the boat, to cast our nets where we have never dreamed of casting them before. Dare to trust that voice, even when it seems to defy everything we've ever known, even when it seems to come from outside the boat itself. And just maybe we will find that it is a lighthouse. Just maybe we will find that it is God. Just maybe we will find that our nets, our lives, are suddenly full beyond our wildest dreams.